Ed though, and I mean, just for Ed fans and for our own knowledge, he went into hiatus for a while. Was he still working with music? Like, were you working with him through the album and the song while he was in his hiatus for a bit?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like he was definitely having downtime. He's obviously
Yeah,
just had a baby and all of that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, I was very sort of aware of not getting up in his grill too much. But
Cause I'm fine, then I'm not. I'm spinning round and I can't stop. I can't do this alone.
hello, mate.
Hey, mate, how are you?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Pretty good. I was
Good.
expecting like a team or something.
No team. I'm pretty unworkable with. So yeah, they just leave me to it.
I love that. It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. How's things over there, man?
Mate, it's really, really good. How are you over there? You're in England, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. In the south of England, just near Brighton, mate. It's lockdown central here. It's pretty
Yeah.
grim. Yeah, pretty jealous of you guys. I think you got it a touch easier than us at the moment. Yeah.
I've been hearing on the news over here, like what UK and that's going through. It's just horrible, man.
The numbers are mad. The numbers are flipping mental. And yeah, it's yeah, hard to know what to think. I just hope this
Yeah.
vaccine rolls out and we can get out of this mess. But yeah,
Yeah.
whereabouts in Queensland are you, man?
So I'm on the sunny coast. So just about an
Oh, beautiful.
hour and 20 hour, depending on where you're from in Brisbane. But yeah, north of Brizzy.
I played a place called Joe's Watering Hole in
Oh,
New
you're
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anywhere close to that?
Mate, I am literally probably 25 minutes from that. So
Sick. I love
I'm
that gig.
the studio is based in Maroochydore, which is I
Okay, yeah,
call it the main hub of the sunny
yeah,
coast.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, Joe's Waterhole, man. They get some gigs there.
Yeah, man, it was
Yeah,
really cool. I mean, a lifetime ago now, but yeah, I have very fond memories of that part of the world.
yeah. It's a remarkable place, Yamundi. Very, very
Yeah,
cool. Very
for
cool.
sure.
But are you good, man? Are you? I mean, obviously the year that we've been having, and it's just been horrible. And but you personally, you good? And
Yeah, yeah, I can't complain, man. I've, obviously no touring, which is a bit of a
yeah,
blow, but we had a bunch of dates lined up for 2020. But yeah, I've been writing and recording like a madman. So yeah, it's been
there
good to
goes the
keep
cat.
busy. Yeah, silly little idiot. Yeah.
I love that. Just this cat. That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
continue, man.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been good, man, and I'm really pleased to get this album out
Yeah,
and be really busy with that. So that's great.
it's been well, it's out now, but it's been a little while since your last album. A few years. Do I have that?
I've been putting music out. I mean, I think since the last time we sort of pushed an album at radio and in that kind of
Yeah,
way, I've done a kind of couple of little charity albums in the meantime and been
yeah.
bubbling away. But yeah, this is certainly the sort of first big release for a while.
And how long have you been working on this album?
Yeah, longer than normal. I mean, it was meant to come out in May, so we actually had it finished sort of early
Wow.
early last year.
Yeah,
But because of the lockdown and because of the sort of general global meltdown, I just sort of
yeah,
decided to hold it back. And mate, I'm really glad I did because I ended up writing a bunch of songs, including the new single
yeah.
that ended up going on the record. And I think it's a much better album as a result.
Awesome, man. I mean, you just saying before that you held off the album, and a lot of artists that I talk to that and they released the album, and some have released and some of them haven't, and they have their different reasons. But for you being in the UK and obviously what they've gone through at the moment, did you hold it off because you felt it just really wasn't the right time because of what the world and what the UK slash the world is going through? Is that why
I
you've
think
held
so.
off?
Yeah, I think so. I just kind of felt like, we put so much love and work and effort into
Yeah,
this album. And it was just looking like we were just going to punt it out into the universe without any sort of way of gaining any momentum. We couldn't
yeah,
busk, we couldn't go and play gigs, we couldn't play, make videos, we couldn't do anything to sort of engage people with the record.
yeah,
So it just felt like a real shame. And in the end, it's funny. I wrote so much during lockdown that I ended up putting out a completely separate album called Patchwork, which is like as I said, a sort of charity album. So that came out in the summer, and it kind of gave us a little bit more time to work on this one as well.
Wow, wow. The album that is out right now are songs for the drunk and brokenhearted. Very interesting title album. What's the story with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think people can probably relate to at least one half of that equation after the year we've all had. Yeah, I went through a breakup not long before lockdown, and it's a tough time. Everyone will tell you that, and I think as a songwriter, whatever you're going through tends to sort of channel itself through the music.
Yeah.
So that there is a sort of running theme of heartbreak throughout the records, as there is on most Passenger records, probably, to be honest. But yeah, it's just an interesting sort of combination. Like I feel like Australia is similar to the UK in that sense that, when you go through something like that, the first thing everybody expects you to do is just go down the pub and sort of drink yourself better. And I think it's sort of, touching on that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And the new single, which we're playing on Random Two Man, Sword from the Stone. Ed Sheeran's involved. One of the most amazing artists. What was it like working with Ed?
Yeah, I mean, I've been friends with Ed for many years. We met, a long time ago when I was busking around the UK, and we happened to be in the same pub playing the same gig on the same night, and we became friends and have done a bunch of stuff. Like, he's been very generous over the years, taking me out on tour as his support act. Yeah, we've just become very good friends over the years, and we've always talked about collaborating in one way or another.
Yeah.
Whether that be a duet or songwriting or whatever. And when I wrote Sword from the Stone, I sent it to a handful of people. I was really excited about it. I kind of knew that I something exciting was happening.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Ed, and he phoned me about 7 minutes afterwards, super excited. And he was like, "Mate, let's do something with this. It's great." So in the end, he went away and sort of created an alternative mix of it.
Yeah.
The gingerbread mix.
So
There's one version on the album which me and my producer worked on, and then there's this sort of like slightly poppier, punchier. Basically, he Sheeranized it, which is a good thing to have happened.
Tell me about the thing with Ed, though. And I mean, just for Ed fans and for our own knowledge, he went into hiatus for a while. Was he still working with music? Like, were you working with him through the album and the song while he was in his hiatus for a bit?
Yeah. I mean, like, he was definitely having downtime. He's obviously just had a baby and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was very sort of aware of not getting up in his grill too much. But yeah, we'd have a chat every week or so, as we were working on the song, and it was kind of going back and forth between the two of us. And I mean, like, to be honest, we would normally catch up most weeks anyway, just for a glass of wine and a chat. So it
down
was
at the pub,
a bit more businessy. Yeah, exactly.
a pint of something.
Yeah, for sure.
Where are you getting your songwriting inspiration from? Like, in the current times we're at, is it personal? Is it about friends, family, general life?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I said, like, this record definitely has that kind of theme of heartbreak and drunkenness on it. But to be honest, mate, I've always just found people completely fascinating. Throughout my career, I've always sort of told people stories through my songs. Everyone's got a story.
Yeah.
And everyone's been through something, and to be able to tell those stories is really important, I think.
Yeah, and you're meant to be actually right now in Australia doing your tour, but of course we can't at the moment, so it's rescheduled for the end of the year. What's the plan like to do a tour, but then to go, we can't do it? Like, how did you even cope with that? Because that sucks.
It does suck, man. It really does. And we've actually, this is the second time we've rescheduled. So yeah, it's a lot of work as well, man. Say again?
Because of COVID? Did you have to reschedule?
Yeah. So we initially we rescheduled for the beginning of this year. Yeah. And obviously, that's not going to happen either. So yeah, it's a ton of work to reschedule a global tour twice.
Yeah.
But it's heartbreaking as well, man. Like, for the last 10 years, I've been, on the road for 9 months of every year, busking, playing gigs, playing festivals. It's what I do. It's what I love. And it's tough, man. It is. But, I'm in the same boat as every other performing artist.
Sure.
Just got to kind of suck it up for now, I guess. Yeah. But I miss Australia. It's been, it's kind of like my second home. I was there for so much of you know, the 4 or 5 years when I was busking, I spent half of it in Australia, and I love that
Wow.
place, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss you guys.
So many international artists, man, love Australia, and we certainly welcome that. I mean, let's hope and let's cross fingers, let's cross everything that the tour in November happens. But how do you make that call? Like, what happens if the UK is still? Oh gosh, I hope not. But what happens if they're still in play? Like, would you just go, we have to do this, and just come over and do the whole quarantine thing and just make the gig happen, even though our venues are open and we're able
Yeah.
to do what? Like, how do you make that call?
I think it's just about playing it by ear, man. I
Yeah.
think all of this whole time has just been about sort of, you know, taking each day as it comes, and seeing how this thing evolves, and what the possibilities are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty positive about it, man. You know, that's almost a year away, and I feel
Yeah.
like, you know, with the vaccines rolling out, and fingers crossed,
Yeah.
I'll get to come and see you end of the year.
I think it's going to be a very special moment, though, when that moment happens. You know, when you've had to can it twice, and now it's the third time,
Sure.
and that first moment of going on the stage at the first venue, which I think is Brisbane. Actually, is it the first?
Yeah, the TIFF. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think that'll be quite an incredible moment for you to do
for
that.
sure.
Apart from the album and the tour, man, what are the plans for the future? What are we hitting up for? Well, I guess for the rest of 2021, maybe next year. What are we looking at for Passenger?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I mean, obviously the album's just come out, so there's a lot of sort of promo and interviews and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
going on at the moment. And again, I think it's just hopefully summer festivals in Europe around June and July, and then sort of headline touring September around the world. But we're just going to have to see, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I think one thing that this has done is that I've stopped being such a control freak about it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, once the world has stopped and everything's cancelled, you're like, well, you know, what's the worst going to happen now? And you've just got to kind of roll with the punches. So yeah, as I said, I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good by the summer.
It's quite interesting you say that, because I mean the COVID thing it's horrible, and we know all that, but what I feel it's done for all of us, and in responding to what you just said, I feel like it's actually a human reset.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've just literally gone back to the basics. Let's worry about our friends and our care
Yeah.
and our family, and we've literally just gone back to the basics, because it just went ballistic, life in general. And you got to do this,
Yeah.
you got to work, you got to do, you just don't
Yes.
have that downtime. And I feel a full reset has happened. And on the other side of this COVID, I feel like we're going to be all different. We're going to be, we're going to be enjoying life a bit more.
I agree with you, man. I really hope you're right. I think it's helped us prioritize what's actually important.
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
It's kind of stripped away a lot of the bullshit, and you sort of understand what really matters. And it turns out it's sort of like, you know, after 3 or 4 months of lockdown, having a beer with a mate is pretty sacred and pretty special. Do you know what I mean?
It
like,
is. Yeah.
Before that, you know, it'd just be a normal Thursday night, but actually, you know, just having a couple of mates around, and, you know, and just chewing the fat and having a beer becomes so important. So I think you're right. And I really hope, if there's one silver lining, you know, people can kind of come out of this situation with that in mind, really.
Yeah, incredible. Well, the album is out right now. Songs for the Drunk and Broken Hearted. New single, Sword from the Stone, with our incredible mate, Ed Sheeran. Passenger, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Oh, it's been a real pleasure, man. Thanks so much for your time.